Hey everybody, I am just finishing up my Badwater135 packing. I'll be heading out to Las Vegas tomorrow night and then out to runner check-in on Sunday in Death Valley, and then the race is Monday. And as I posted some photos last night of me putting together my supply bags. And as I was doing that, I thought when I very first started running about 10 years ago, it sort of jogged my memory on how I thought, you know what, running will be a great sport because all you really need is a pair of shoes. I mean, you can run anywhere. And so I'm not exactly sure how I got from only thinking I needed a pair of shoes into needing all of this. But 10 years later, and literally probably tens of thousands of miles later, this is where we're at. So these are all the supplies I'm going to be taking out to the race. Now, what you're seeing here is not just supplies in a bag. What you're seeing here is really a race strategy. Because one thing I've learned over many years of doing these races in lots of different conditions is the power of having a plan. And that plan starts with the supplies you're going to take, because you only have really limited capacity. Probably I will not use, I would say, maybe 70 to 80% of these supplies, but I have them there if I need them, and that's really important in these races. These races are so incredibly physically grueling and demanding that any time, and they also will wear you down mentally. Anytime you can eliminate something that might eat away at you mentally is just really, really helpful, because little small things that are normally very inconsequential can end up just being these massive elephants that just trample you down. So the way I have it organized makes sense to me, and this is really my sort of my pre-race strategy to make sure I don't leave anything behind, that I have everything that I think I might want out there on the course. But this is also to help my crew of 4 people who are going to be out there in the desert as well. They're going to be hot, they're going to be tired, they're going to be dealing with me, which is no small task. So they're going to have a lot going on. Anything that I can do to help make their lives easier in terms of organization and my supplies and getting everything that ready that I think I might need, the better. So the way I have it organized, again, this is very strategic in the way I have it, even down to the color. So I'm using fluorescent tape because they're going to be in the dark for 2 nights using headlamps. So I thought the fluorescent tape will make it really easy for them to see. And then I have everything grouped in categories. So like this is electronics, but then included in electronics is iPods, headphones, headlamps, extra batteries. I've got several bags of clothing. I ended up deciding to take 3 pairs of shoes. So I have shoes, but then I also have the brand and the model. So, if my feet are hurting, I might say, can you grab my Hoka Mocs for me? And then they'll know these are shoes, these are the Hoka Mocs. Hoka Mocs makes sense to me when you're not a runner or when you're used to wearing a totally different brand. It helps to have it labeled, and it will help really to smooth the transition. The goal of all this is to make their lives easier so that they can keep me going. And hopefully we're going to be moving pretty quickly, and we're going to be rolling through the desert pretty fast. At least that's the plan, since we're talking about having a plan and a race strategy. So this is my race strategy sort of for my supplies. But in these long races, I also have a race strategy for pace. I look at the elevation chart and try to figure out, where do I think I can really push? Where do I need to maybe power hike and eat and hydrate? Where should I try to take in more calories? What are the sections I think are going to give me problems? And over 135 miles, there's a lot that I've sort of have broken the race up into smaller sections, because then it's just a little bit more manageable. So I think really today's takeaway that I wanted to leave with you is the power of having a plan. And that's not just true in running, that really just traverses other aspects of your life. But the power of having a plan, and then the power of sharing that plan. I know that over the last couple of months, me and my crew, we've had a Google Doc where we've just, we can all access it and we can share different supplies. And so I'll be out on a training run and I'll think of something, or I'll see somebody, maybe wearing something, or, I'll just have an idea and I'll think, I need to put that in the Google Doc. So I'll come back and add it on there, and then we sort of talk about it as a group. Is this something we think we need out in Death Valley? Is it something we need to take out there? Is it something we should buy when we get out there? So we've been doing that for a while in our Google Doc, which has been great. We've had several conference calls where we've all been, just sort of walking through the plan. And then once we get out to Death Valley, we'll also have another race meeting so that we're all together and we have our maps and we're just all on the same page. So, it doesn't really matter the distance, whether it's a 50 mile or a 100 mile or a 5K. You always need to have a plan. You always need to have a race strategy. And this is mine, and I'm glad I was able to share it with you today. And I look forward to telling you how well the plan goes after the race. And it'll be fun to sort of fill you in on what worked, what didn't work, how we had to deviate, and what the outcome was. Thanks, guys.